We are live.
Mm,
Hey guys, we are live in video form. I'm Alex, and I have Scott and Nabishin with me for some sweet, succulent bonus content. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty
all right.
good?
Pretty
How's
good.
life treating you, Scott?
It's been pretty much the same kind of stuff. Yeah, we had all those snow days, so we've been cramming everything that we could into the last couple of weeks. So,
Gotcha. Oh shit, I have the YouTube video up. I'm hearing myself. Okay, we're good. Alright, so you're almost done, right? This next week, last week for you, Scott?
yes. Next week is finals week.
Mm-hmm. Are you doing any summer classes or fuck that?
I'm doing summer classes.
Yeah, I am too. Well, I'm doing some summer classes because I didn't do any classes all summer.
Uh,
But alright. So just school and shit.
And shit.
And shit. Don't forget. Important part of the process. Wake you
Never
first.
forget.
Never! What about you, Nabishin?
nothing much really. Like all I've been doing is pretty much just been working. Um, funny thing about work though, they now just decided to give me a full-time position. Um, mostly because well, one of the reasons was like offhandedly, like someone was asking me like how I was doing and stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm actually planning to move pretty soon. You know, like you're moving? I'm like, yeah, I'm probably gonna leave here pretty soon, like maybe in a month or so. I was just saying that like offhandedly, and then like that got spread around like it's fucking high school, and like one of my coworkers asked me like, oh, you're moving, bro? I'm like, yeah, probably in June or something. I don't know. I'm just giving an estimate. And he's like, okay, and then it got all the way up to my boss, and then my boss had like to call me like into a little corner or something so like you're quitting? I'm like not anytime soon. And he was like, you're leaving in June, right? Like maybe not. I don't know. I'm just saying. I was just giving a number. Like don't even take it like all that seriously.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh okay. And then my this my boss lady asked me about it, and I was just saying like, well yeah, I need like extra money, so this doesn't really give me that much. He's like, oh, well maybe we should give you a full time position. And so now they decided to give me a full time position, and I start that next week. Just like, oh wow,
Alright.
like all I have to say is like I'm gonna leave or quit, and then you decide to do something about it. But whatever.
Are you
I
gonna
mean,
get
it's gonna
paid
happen
more?
eventually. It's almost been a year since I've been working here, so I think I'll get a pay raise around then. I started in July, so I think I'll get a pay raise around then. But it's basically just more hours, which that's really what I needed, because like um the amount of hours they give me now, like I can't even make like my rent in like a full month. I have to like in a full month. I'm sorry. In 2 weeks, I can't make my rent amount, which is $500. So like I always have to save a little bit from my last 2 weeks to put into that one. But now I should be able to like actually just like give up the $500 and still maybe have a little bit extra. So that'll be awesome actually. For once. Um,
The
but
Irrational Passions account, I'm just gonna put this out there. Via YouTube, which YouTube like auto posts when we go live.
hmm
It posted that we are live in French.
I'm gonna do full membership.
Why'd you do that?
I didn't do that.
Oh, yes, you did.
I did not do that. It you can look at it. I think it's French. Yeah. I'm gonna retweet that because why not? All right, continue. Sorry, that was just really that took me off guard.
I see it now. That's pretty funny. Um, but yeah, I guess that's pretty much everything. It broke me off my flow, so I don't care anymore.
Well, I'm glad that you're getting paid more, at least in regards to having more hours. That's good.
No, I'm having more hours, and I'm pretty much getting paid the same, and I might get paid more because my year is almost at July. So
Yeah, well, I'm saying you'll be paid more just because you'll be working more.
yes, that's the thing.
Mm. Are you still gonna get another job, or are you just gonna stick with one now?
I always preferred being one, and the only reason I wanted another job is because they weren't paying me enough, and now they're kind of are, so that will work out a little bit more for me. Um, I don't know. Maybe I probably should still get another job just to make the process of moving a little bit more easier or faster, I should say. But I don't know. I'm a one job kind of guy.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Well, we'll see.
I actually just
Oh,
went. Oh, go ahead.
there's actually one more thing. Like I don't even know if I should even say this, but I'm saying it anyway. Okay. Um, like I got a court order, like a few days ago.
Hmm.
And like at first I was like, no way I got a court order because it was from Papa John's. And I was like, no way I got a court order from from like this accident I had like almost a year ago, and they're just now saying something about it. That's what I thought it was at first. But no, apparently Papa John's been like undercutting us the drivers for like some amount of money. So I don't have to do anything, and like pretty much like they're about to go in court, and I might just get something out of that. So that'd be nice.
Did
And I
Tony get
worked.
anything from them as well?
Yeah, he got something too. So like they're gonna that's gonna happen in the next like few weeks or so. Um, and I worked full time there when I was working there, so I might just be but it'll probably be like a couple $100 if anything. But hey, there's extra money, so that makes me happy.
Yeah, a couple $100 is like a free couple $100. So
Mm-hmm.
weird. Fucking Papa
Yeah.
John's. Who would have thought? I always would have pegged Domino's as the skeevy business, but no. Cool. I actually just went and saw a movie. I saw a matinee. I saw the movie that came out today. Neighbors.
By yourself?
No, with Ethan.
Okay.
We saw Neighbors, which is that Seth Rogen comedy.
I haven't seen anything on it.
Yeah, it's basically there's like this this couple that has just had a kid, a daughter, and then a frat house moves into the vacant house next door, and it just becomes a kind of like all-out prank war between the two. And I'm not like I've never really been a huge Seth Rogen fan, but after This Is the End, which is a brilliant fucking movie, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. After seeing that and really enjoying it, and this kind of looked good. It has like Zac Efron and Dave Franco as like the leaders of the frat house, and they did a fantastic job. It's a really funny movie. It's like a kind of laid back funny movie. There's not like a lot of crazy moments that are having you like your side splitting, but it was really funny. There were a couple moments like that that were just ridiculous, but yeah, it was pretty enjoyable, and it was just like there's a lot of weird bantery dialogue moments in it that just go on for a really long time that are just really really entertaining to watch. Yeah, it's pretty good. I was like, we wanted to see it, and I was like, I don't want to pay $10.50 to see that movie, so we went in the morning. So we're recording this earlier than we normally do for people listening. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon instead of 8 p.m. at night, so weird. But yeah, let's see. Other than that, I just had like the worst fucking week as far as sleep goes. I was just all over the place. Couldn't get to sleep like 4 nights out of the week forever, and then I would sleep in way too long, and then I wouldn't get anything done because I'd be awake during the night. So I bought a 4-pack of Monster last night and stayed up all night to fix this shit. So I will be turning in nice and early today, and then I'll be all good for next week, hopefully. Sometimes you just gotta reset your schedule like that, or at least I do.
Yeah, that's you.
Yeah, says me. I've been watching a lot of anime this week.
Greg would be proud.
Greg would be proud. Actually, I'd probably be watching stuff that Greg would think is dumb. I watched all of Sword Art Online, which I really liked.
Oh, too.
it was like that show is a love story, like very much like there are other things that happen in that show, but it's a romance. So as a helpless romantic, and I know you understand, Nabashun, I was all about that.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, I was like, fuck, that means I'm probably gonna watch it.
It's really good. Like as far as like that aspect of it, it's really good. What episode did you get to?
um, I think the last one I saw with Tony was where they first met the little girl who lost her pet and they had to bring it back to life.
Uh,
I think
yeah,
that's the
like
last one I saw.
that's a good one. I like
Yeah.
that there are kind of two halves to the show. Um, and like in the first half, instead of kind of because they're trapped in this MMO, and instead of kind of focusing on progression and like fighting bosses, they just kind of completely ignore that. It happens, and you don't really see it. Instead, you just kind of get these really interesting personal stories that are just done way better than I think they would have done them just kind of going through the MMO and playing it and trying to clear the game. And that took me by surprise because I'd only watched the first episode up until this past weekend. And yeah, I was really taken aback by that. They just kind of went from introducing new characters every episode, and then about 6 episodes in, so halfway through the first half, they just kind of started sticking to a main group of characters, and yeah, it really tugs at your heartstrings in like a really surprising way. So
Yeah.
yes, I think you should finish watching it. The second half of this that first season isn't as strong, but it introduces a lot of things that I didn't think I would like some really kind of things that you would be like, oh, it's Japan being gross and weird, but I think they did it well. Save for like one thing that I'm not going to spoil, but it was one thing that bothered me, but it didn't ruin it. So,
Okay.
but yeah, like it completely changes tone halfway through the show, and for the better. I think they play around with a lot of cool stuff. So I'm excited to see what happens in this forthcoming second season.
All
But
right.
yeah,
You didn't watch anything else?
I watched Spice and Wolf. Have you heard of this before?
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
I was in like a really romance mood after watching Sword Art, so I'm like, what's another good romance that isn't like shitty? Like
Fruit Basket.
Fruits Basket's good. I was tempted, but I wanted something more kind of adventurous. And after browsing on forums and avoiding all of the forums that recommended shit like High School DxD in relation to Sword Art Online, I'm like, because I like I don't watch a lot of anime, but I'm not fucking stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, I know what I like, and I know I would not like High School DxD. And I don't understand how anyone can recommend that after watching Sword Art Online, but whatever. I actually managed to stumble upon a forum that had like weird kind of like adventure-y romance anime, and one of them is like Spice and Wolf, which is it's weird. It's like this merchant stumbles upon a god of harvest, a goddess, and she can transform between a giant wolf and a woman, and they become companions, and obviously like relationship grows from there. But past that, it's like there are these plot arcs about being a merchant and kind of like the craziness that ensues with it, and it's like 90% of the show is dialogue and a lot of like cunning trickery between merchants and trading and kind of breaking down like specific types of trade and all that. It's really fascinating. Like I didn't expect to be as interested in all of the other stuff that was happening, and the characters and the chemistry between them is just so good. So another thing that I did not nearly expect to like as much as I do. It's very well done. So
Okay.
and then as far as like other TV goes, I've been watching Arrow, which the season finale is next week of season 2, and shit is just so real. Cities are on fire. Things are happening. People are showing up. It is, yeah, as a crazy show. So, another recommended. But yeah, been a fun week. Instead of like getting anything productive done, I've just been watching TV and shit. So, and playing games.
Well, while on this anime tip, one I would recommend you to watch, it's a slice of life one. It's actually really, really decent. It's called Koda-chan. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but I would say like to look that up. Like probably like as far as anime wise, like halfway through is like a good way to stop because like after that it does like the like the filler stuff and like then does like the 26 episode syndrome. It's not 26 episodes, but it's a 26 episode syndrome where it just like kind of wraps up. Even though it's like that's not the way it's supposed to wrap up, and like you can go to the manga after that because like that one's really really good as far as like tugging on heartstrings and it's just a really good story. Like,
How do you spell that?
It is C-O. No, sorry, it's K-O-D-O C-H-A.
Okay. All right. I'll look into it. Oh, I've heard of this.
Yeah.
I've seen
An option. I've been meaning to tell you about this one. It's not an anime, it's a cartoon. It's called Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty?
Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty. Yeah.
That's good.
That one's good. It's the guy who does Community, which I know Namashina you don't watch, but it's a fantastic show. He basically started doing a cartoon for Adult Swim, and it's fucking weird.
Oh, okay.
It's good though,
yeah. I've seen the first episode, and it's really funny.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything else. But...
The first episode...
Go ahead.
I don't want to tell you. I want to tell Alex, because I don't think he's gonna follow it. But if you get into it, I think you will.
Okay.
Yeah, the art style is very reminiscent of Adventure Time. I think there's similar producers on it. So.
All right, like one more thing before we move on.
All right.
Because I've been reading my manga lately. Like I said, and that's the thing I wanted to mention last week that I forgot to mention this. That I forgot to mention was Detective Conan's getting so good. It's like it's literally at like the highest peak now that it's going to be. At least it seems like because like they're just like doing this big reveal part right now. That we saw coming. That we saw coming, but like
years ago, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I looked into it and I'm like, So let's see. They have this. Oh God. And then I stopped. Now you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I did.
I don't.
Oh,
I know, but
that's okay.
But it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it ruined for me anyway. So.
Yeah, but the big reveal is it's finally coming up. I got an idea what might happen at this part, just in case they want to like prolong it even longer. But like, I'm kind of hoping that they don't do that. But like, it's kind of weird because like it seems like there's no way out of it at the situation they're in right now. Because like it's already been revealed, so like they're always gonna have that hint in their head no matter what they do now. So it's just a matter of like how they get around that. So I'm just like on pins and needles now. It's like, oh my god, I can't wait for the next week type of thing. So that's just getting really good.
Right. Like Alex, to clue you in, it's essentially one of the few anime mangas that has fillers.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the Detective Conan style of filler. Yeah. Is there any more people that have been turned into children? I know there are 2.
It's just them 2, and
Okay.
they're just special situations. Shinchi just because he's the star, and Haibara because of she was with the organization just to get away. She did that. She's the maker of that
Oh, the
poison.
drug.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I don't know much about her because I stopped right before I found out that she even existed. I'm like, this is so much effort. And then I found out
It's a
about
lot of
her.
effort. That's what I said. Once I got up to that point, like I can't do that ever again. That's like I really want to get into One Piece, but that's too much investment. I really want to get into JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, but that's too much investment.
Yeah, like
So.
One Piece seems like it's really good, but like I got halfway to the time jump and I'm like, I can't do this. I
Well,
can't.
You can't watch it at this
Yeah.
point. You have to read it.
Yeah, like that's what because I was watching it and I just
No, you can't.
Yeah,
You
it's,
can't.
it's
I
impossible.
tried to.
I refuse to believe that anyone could do it unless they're like watching it at 3 times speed and they're just kind of watching the colors go by. Then maybe you could do it. Yeah, like One Piece is just—it's so much. It's like what 700 episodes.
If every episode was important, then it wouldn't be all that bad.
Yeah.
Because then you could take your time with it. But not every episode is important. And then when you get to that one that isn't, you're just like,
Yeah, the thing with One Piece is even if you use a filler guide, it's like Dragon Ball Z. It's like there's just like every arc that isn't filler is still like 1,000 episodes because they just draw it out. But yeah, I mean, Detective Conan was just something that I was so into that I didn't let up for a while, but I just. Yeah, it's so much work. It's like a full-time job to keep up with that shit.
Yeah, I still recommend that you well, if you want to, just to go to that site I gave you and just read all the manga that's on there because it's all there. So like it's just like you just know which ones to skip. Like all the important ones involve Kaito Kid, who's a fan of thieves, if you don't the American version. Like Kaito Kid, the one with Hattori, what's his name? I forget his name in English, but whatever.
See the other detective guy?
Yeah, he's the other detective guy.
Yeah.
Or Mosaka. The one and just pretty much the Men in Black. Those are the 3 important episodes. Like anytime it involves like the detective boys or whatever, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And Naruto's still good, and Bleach is still.
Is that manga like still doing shit? Is like because I haven't
Which
checked
one?
in the Naruto manga.
Oh, Naruto's finishing up like for real. They are going for the ending right now. Like you're talking like in the next by the end of this year it should be over.
Yeah. All right, because I stopped keeping up with Naruto once the anime just jumped into a filler arc. I was like, I'll take a break.
Oh, Naruto's already in Super Saiyan 4 mode, so it's crazy.
All right, so it's all not canon. All right, cool. Yeah, no, Naruto's the thing that I'll probably watch that all the way through before I read it. Just because I think they did a really good job with the show. At least where they're at now, because they're pretty much like caught up. Hey, Mark Griffiths is watching us. He says,
Hey.
"All right, guys. All right. All right. Let's get this show on the road. How does that sound?"
Yep.
On one, if we are all ready to record. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Recording.
Sweet. Mark says, I've started getting back into anime over the past couple of months, and I enjoyed SAO a lot more than I thought I would. Even when I got... Like, it's not a bad weird.
Everybody
per se.
says that.
It's
I'm just like everybody says that. It's like it just falls apart in that second half.
It doesn't fall apart. No, it's still like really good, and there's still like really excellent character stuff. But it's so vastly different, that I
In
like
tone or direction or what?
the tone is a little bit different. Just like it's in the way it's presented to you is so different, that it's like it's really jarring when you go into it. And then you really have to get used to it because they don't let up on the punches pretty much at all, and it moves a lot faster. But it wraps up so well. I think they stuck the landing like in the best way. But yeah, it's hard to say literally anything without going into spoiler territory. But
Okay.
yeah, it's like the Sword Art's on Netflix now, so it's much easier to access. The dub is really good.
I still even finished watching Attack on Titan.
Yeah, see, like,
uh,
there's when I was finished Sword Art, I found out like the same because I watched the dub, which was good. It was very good. But I found out like the main guy does the main character in the dub of Attack on Titan as well. So I was like, oh, I might watch it, but then it was just like, nah, people eating people. I can't do it. Even if they're
yeah,
giant monster people, I can't do it.
mm,
I hear it's pretty graphic, so.
it gets there, definitely.
Um, Mark says, I'm somewhat ashamed to say I did watch a bit of High School DxD. I usually hate that type of stuff, but it's enough weird supernatural type shit to keep me interested and let me look past it. Yeah, I just.
Well, you see, he's not looking for the supernatural type stuff. He's looking for the romance part, and yeah, about that.
Yeah, like High School DxD is like,
Mhm.
quote, romance, right, guys? It's like that. No, it's not.
I mean, there's stuff like that that like, I get into sometimes. Like, I'm still a fan of two of you. Like, that's just like all that shit. And I know I like what's it called Rosario Vampire. I like that sort of kind of. But like like it's like far removed from like what like a show like Tenchi Muyo used to be. Like it's nothing like what it used to be anymore as far as like harem anime. It's like if it's a show of boob, it's not a harem anymore. At least in this day and age. So
Yeah.
it's like weird.
Yeah, it was like the thing that I kind of discovered about myself. Like, I really like subtlety in anime, at least when it comes to romance. I think anime is like the only like they have it down to a science of how to do romance subtly and kind of draw it out in a way that's like not super frustrating. It depends on the show, but like Sword Art Online, they go right for it. Like the two characters confess to each other, they kiss, and it's wonderful, and it's blah blah blah. They go right into it. But like in Spice and Wolf, for example, it's very subtle. It's over a long period of time, and just like the emotional bonds build and get stronger. And like I hate that in regular TV. If they're just drawing it out in regular TV, I can't stand it. But in anime, I like it. But High School DxD, nope. Nothing subtle about that. Mark also says, but I wouldn't recommend it in reference to High School DxD. And he says, have you seen High School of the Dead? And I said no. Because I say no, and I won't, because the way Greg described that anime to me is like, yeah, it's like Panty Shot the anime with blood. I'm like, that sounds like a waste of time.
It kind of is. It's actually good as far as animation and like the action scenes, but like it does not hold back as far as like being revealing and shit like that. So
Yeah. I'm just not like
I
a
kind
huge
of
fan of that.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, bro.
Yeah. Like, luckily, there's, like, much like video games, there's an anime out there for everyone, I think.
Yeah, like Code Geass is like one of my favorite animes, and like it does have some ecchi stuff in it, and that's why like some people get turned off from even watching that show because of that. And like I don't blame them, but like it's so much more than that. But like yeah, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
And this is the show when Greg isn't on. Like God, we just like
Well, the only way we can talk about this is if Greg isn't here, because he would just interject and tell us we're wrong. I'm just teasing Greg. I'll tell him to watch this so he sees what we think, but I'm just teasing. All right, let's start the podcast about video games.
Yay.
Let me pull up the Google Doc. It should be. I think I already deleted new releases.
No, that's funny.
Dismiss. Clear this up. Any other news that you found, Nabshin? I saw you added a couple more.
no, that's pretty much everything's pretty much all Nintendo.
Yeah. It seems like once a month we're gonna have this conversation about Nintendo. All right.
Wait. What about Nintendo?
Oh, them just like reporting a loss and whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Oh God. Burps. And Mark says, I've been meaning to watch Attack on Titan for a while, but I've been waiting for the dub. The dub is on Netflix. I believe. You just gotta go
I'm not
down.
sure.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's not dubbed the last time I used Netflix with it. So
Okay. Sword Art is dubbed. So there you go. That's all I know about Animu. It is Friday, May 9th, 2014, and you're listening to the Irrational Passions podcast. I am Alex O'Neill, and I am your host this afternoon, because we're not actually recording at night for once. With me, I have Scott Guthier.
Hello.
And Brian Nabashin Jackson.
omelette du fromage.
I always try to remember that phrase.
Omelette du fromage?
Yeah. But I always forget it. Even though I watched that episode of Dexter's Lab like 40,000 times. We have a short show for you guys, I guess. It's just the three of us. We are like the mainstays. We've done like these 3-man shows. We've done like 4 of them in the past 2 months.
That's sad.
I know.
That's sad.
What is everybody else doing? Like we had Evan
Be
on
pieces
once. Then we had Justin on once. We had Tony on once, and that was it. Then all the other shows in the past 2 months have just been us 3. And we had Greg on once. But Greg was on the same time as Evan, so who cares? But speaking of Evan, today is Evan's birthday. Evan Wall, our very own
Happy
host.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Evan. I love that guy. As little as he may know about video games sometimes, he always is happy, and there is something to say about that. Especially when we talk about all the fucking depressing shit as we do on this show sometimes. So, happy birthday, Evan. Thank you. He's 21 today. He's probably off partying hardy, and by that I mean not drinking. But yeah, somewhere. Go if you are listening to this.
Probably laughing at bad ad libs.
Probably he tweeted at me. I said happy birthday, and he said. And I said, don't get too drunk. And he said, you know me, I will get so drunk, it'll be like I'm not drunk. And then he sent a tongue sticky out face. So there you go. That's subtlety for Evan Wall. But yeah, if you get the chance, even if you're a little late, if you're listening to this on Tuesday when it comes out, tweet at StickerGlue and tell that guy happy birthday. But other than that, I will start the show by saying what has been going on the website this week. IrrationalPassions.com. Tons of great stuff. And by tons, I mean a few things. Just a few things. We did a spotlight. Jarrett wrote a spotlight for the one, the only Greg Miller on Wednesday. Which is very good. I liked it. I liked how he closed that one out. And then there was Throwback Thursday on Nintendo Anniversaries. Which was pretty good. Like, it was not about what I thought it would be. So I would recommend checking that out as well. But yeah, just that. Some things are happening behind the scenes. Hopefully there will be some cool stuff coming up on the site soon. But yeah, that's it. Just those 2 things. If you're listening to this, I will also say we do a video version of the podcast via Google Hangouts, which is live, and you can watch us live, usually on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, recorded earlier this week because Nabashin's got work. Yeah, you can check that, or you can just watch the video version, which has about a half hour of like pre-show bonus content every week over at youtube.com/irrationalpassions. So there you go. But yeah, that's it. Really, really lackluster opening. So let's talk about video games. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just there's 3 of us. Not a lot happened this week. I'll go first. Because let me tell you guys about Disco Zoo. When I started playing Disco Zoo, which, if you're unfamiliar, is an iOS game, I did not know how insane it would be. So let me tell you guys, in the patch, they patched the Disco Zoo to have like another region of animals. There are like 9 regions of animals that you can go rescue animals from. and they patched in a polar or an ice age region, so you would like get a time machine and go back to the ice age and rescue animals from the ice age, blah blah blah. But in the patch notes on the App Store, there was a coded message that I discovered. In the patch notes, it's like 3 paragraphs. It's written as Disco Sue, which is the zoo's like manager. And if you go through the patch notes and put together every capital letter, because there's only a certain amount of capital letters instead of like actual punctuation, every capital letter spells the word funky bus. And I'm like, huh. I wonder what this means. So after hours into Disco Zoo, you see, basically, if you get 25 of each animal in a region, you get an A+ rating in your reviews. And then if you get all diamond trophies, which means you've freed an additional 40 animals of each type of animal. It's stupid, I know, and I did it. But if you get like a diamond trophy, so there's 6 animals per region, and you get 25 of them to max out the region, right? 25 of each. So that's already like 120 or 150 animals. And then if you get another 40 of each, which is a lot, it's like 300 or something, then you get for every 40 animals you free on top of the 25 you already have, you get a diamond trophy, which does nothing except it puts like a diamond statue in the middle of the animal exhibit. But if you get all the diamond trophies, you get like a diamond rating for that area. And I got that for the first area, and if you go over to the reviews, this time, instead of just saying like the A+ review, it's like, I really liked the elephants or whatever. In the background of the review, there's like the silhouette of a word, right? So if you get all the diamond trophies for the farm animals, in the background of the review, it says you in like a silhouette of like white letters. So I'm like, oh god, there's one of these words for each of the areas. So this is a spoiler for people who want to discover this secret on their own. So I became obsessed with getting all of the diamond trophies for all of the animals, which took a really long time. I'm just gonna say. I've been at it for weeks, we'll say. And it spells, like, through each of the reviews, the diamond reviews, has a word in it. And if you put all 9 words together, it's like, you will get funky if you tap bus 9 times. And then if you go... It's something like that. That's not the exact message. If you go to where, like, the office is, the zoo office is... Like, there's a parking lot to the left, and there's a bus parked there. And if you tap the bus 9 times with your finger, it takes you to a different screen where there's a mini game in it, and the mini game is Flappy Bird.
What?
And I realized that the patch came out the same day Flappy Bird was taken off the App Store, or sometime around it. And it's been so long since we talked about that, and I was like, what? But basically, it's a mini game where it's an infinite flyer where you just tap to keep a bus on the road. You tap it to move it up a little bit, and you have to weave in throughout a bunch of cars, and you can see how many cars you pass. But it's Flappy Bird. And then if you get all the diamond trophies, you unlock Funky Bus mode, in which instead of tapping to make the bus go up, it's like falling toward the top, and you tap it to make the bus go down. So it's like inverted of it, but it's... Yeah, I put in all this effort, and I found the most fucking ridiculous thing that I did not expect, so...
Was it worth it?
It was worth it. Like, it was actually worth it. Not just because the fucking crazy Flappy Bird, but there's like exclusive music, like chiptune music for this minigame that's really fucking good. So, yeah, I was...
Always worth it for the chiptune?
It's always worth it. It's like really good chiptune music. But yeah, I was not expecting that. I had to share with you guys because, yeah, I was out of all the things, that was not it. Not even close. But yeah, there you go. Go play Disco Zoo, get all the diamond trophies, and get a funky bus or something like that. And the only other thing I've been playing was Tales of the Abyss, which I finally got back into. I said I was gonna jump into it last week, and I did. And so Tales of the Abyss is like it came out, I think, 4 years after Tales of Symphonia in 2005 for the PS2. And I've been playing the original PS2 version, not the 3DS port or anything like that. But yeah, it's like way better than I remember it being. Because I tried to play through the game, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and I just kind of dropped off on it. I think it was mostly because I had just played Tales of Vesperia before trying to dive into that one. But yeah, it's like it plays almost exactly like Tales of Vesperia does. It looks really good for like a PS2 Tales game. It's like looks leagues and miles better than Tales of Symphonia. And yeah, there's like way more voice acting instead of like a lot of scenes without VO. Yeah, it's like really a lot better than I remember it being, and it was a pleasant surprise. Like I got way into it again.
Isn't that game on 3DS?
It is on 3DS. They ported it over to 3DS.
Okay.
But I didn't really want to play it on handheld. Plus, I own it on PS2, so why spend $40 on the 3DS version? Because I'm sure wherever I'd buy it from, it'd be full price still. But yeah, it's good. Like it's very difficult to get into. Like if I was going to recommend someone's first Tales game, it would not be this, because the protagonist is kind of very purposefully a horrible person until like there's this big climax and he's like, I'm gonna be a better person, and then he is a better person, but that doesn't happen until like 14 hours into the game. And like he's totally that guy, like that spoiled, whiny, bratty protagonist up until that point that you've seen in all of your favorite animes. But like his character growth is really surprising. It's really good. It's well done. But it's very dense. Like there's a lot of jargon that they're throwing around pretty much constantly. Fields of phonons, phone slots, phonic hymns, phonons, the phone belt. What the fuck? Photons. Torpedoes.
I don't know.
Set phasers to stun. No, it's like all this phone stuff, FON, and it's way complicated, way dense. I'm like 17 hours into it now, and I still have trouble keeping up with some of the dictionary type words. Like I don't remember what half of anything means.
Pause for a second. Is there a game that involves phones? That's an anime like a game, something like that. I don't know what I'm. Did I just like come up with an idea about myself, or I don't know if I'm remembering something or not.
I'm sure there is a video game that involves phones.
Like, I'm thinking Persona.
There's a World Ends With You that
might be what I'm thinking about. Okay.
as a phone as a send center.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're totally right, Scott. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, different phones. Phones are like atoms or pieces of mana in this game. It's like, oh,
What?
excuse me, mana. We're all made up of phonons, and there are 6 types of phonons, and
Metachlorians.
midichlorian, exactly. There's
All
earth,
for my original vision.
water, fire, wind, light, and dark phonons out there. But there's a 7th phonon, and it's made of memories. It's like, what the fuck is happening? What are you talking about? Yeah. It's
Less drugs, please.
Yeah, all the phones. But it's good. Like, I was thinking about it while I was playing it. The kind of you start off as like the spoiled brat in his manor, and he's not allowed to leave, and then something happens, and there's like this hyper resonance is what they call it, and he's transported like to the opposite country, like he just teleports over there, and he's like never left his mansion in his memory, so he's like being a whiny bitch over there, and like the first goal, like short-term goal, is to get back to Batikul, which is like the city he came from, and that takes 9 hours to accomplish. And I thought, like, when I got there and I saved it at Batikul, I'm like, man, 9.5 hours to get here. That's like 2 full Call of Duty campaigns. And I played that in like 4 sessions, and I didn't even bat an eye to it. Like, that was nothing for me. But I'm thinking about, like, if I played one 4.5 hour Call of Duty campaign, I would be so done with Call of Duty by the time I finished it. But I just kept playing Tales of the Abyss. It's weird how like JRPGs are just this thing that we take for granted, this time that I just throw into it is just like this first act, which is like probably not even a third of the game, maybe like not even a quarter of the game, is 2 full first-person shooter campaigns. It's weird. It's weird to think of it that way. But like when I was looking at that game clock, I was like, yeah, that's a lot of time. But yeah, I mean, I didn't bat an eye to it.
Hey man, a lot must have happened.
Yeah, there was a lot of shit that went down.
There's a lot that did happen.
A lot of plot devices showed up. A lot of people not betray you. You don't really get betrayed, actually.
Well, yeah, no, you're kind of a dick anyway. So,
but like I was saying, like the protagonist kind of goes through this transformation. Like he cuts his hair, and he's like, "This is me letting go who I was." It's like symbolic, and there's an anime cutscene for it and whatnot. And it's like, oh, whatever, who cares? But that took 14.5 hours to get to that point. So the protagonist was just like, oh, shut the fuck up, leading up to that for 14.5 hours. But like that point's so good, and it made me appreciate it way more. But thinking about the average person playing it, like Tales of the Abyss is not the Tales game you play first. That's the one that you play like 6th or something. Like that's when you play Tales of the Abyss after you play Tales of Legendia, which is like an actual shitty Tales game, and then you play Tales of the Abyss. And you're like, oh, this isn't a bad Tales game. That fucking Tales of Legendia shit was. There you go. That's all I put. To put it in terms. Yeah. What are you, Scott? Video games.
Yeah. The Bravely Default is kind of the same dark hole.
JRPGs, man. They'll do it to you.
So that right now, over the course of 3 weeks, I believe, right?
Sure. That sounds right.
3 weeks, that is 40 hours into it.
Nice.
Now, a lot of this is me never turning it off and leaving it on. It's on now.
They like incentivize you to do that.
It's open across the room.
Oh, it's open.
It's open across the room.
Why don't you put it in sleep mode so you get those sweet sleep points?
I don't need them.
Whatever. It was weird. Like I played like maybe another minute of Bravely Default since last week, just because Tales of the Abyss sucked me in more than I thought it would. And I got to the point where they like, this is what Bravely Second is, and like the way you use Bravely Second is like you either, for every 8 hours, your 3DS is in sleep mode with Bravely Default on, and you're like on your file. For every 8 hours, you get like 1 use of Bravely Second.
Mm-hmm.
Which is absurd. And then, like, if you click on it in the pause menu, it's like, oh, you can spend real money on to get more of these Bravely Second points. It's like microtransactions. I'm like, I didn't even know this game had microtransactions. It's weird. But my 3DS has been in sleep mode for 4 days with Bravely Default on, so I got plenty now.
The thing about it is, it can save you, but at the same time, if you had a chance to win in the first place, you don't need it.
Yeah, no, it seems like a a basically pay to win type thing. Like I can use this to cheese it a little bit.
That's the thing. You can't.
You can't?
You can't. It's not that helpful. Do you wish it was? Sometimes, yes, but it's not that helpful.
Yeah, that's disappointing. It is weird that something that isn't that helpful is behind a paywall. Or like this absurd timer. Yeah.
When you would need it, it is up.
Yeah.
If for some reason you're overusing it,
yeah, I could see like if you got too dependent on it, then you'd really fuck yourself.
That's the thing, though. It would be really hard.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
On it.
Yeah. How many can you have at one point? Like as many as you can have?
It's the same as a Brave. You can have at max 3, and it goes down to -1.
All right.
So you can at once you'd attack 4 times. Although if you're going to be using it all, I would recommend that you use it once at a time, and then use it at 4 separate instances.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things that you'd use it for is because special music still goes on in the background, and you can time yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
While in Bravely Second, is you would go ahead and you'd pull up a friend's special if all of your guys are on cooldown to keep that thing going.
So how does this friend thing work?
It's complicated.
Yeah.
Like we should expect.
Yeah.
How it works is, I believe that you have to get to the point where you get the pendant for friends. After that, it works from on your 3DS friends list.
All right.
As well as you can go ahead and get up to like 3 to 4 net friends, just random people who play the game every day.
Yeah. I mean,
they're all random.
Does it like pull your friends as characters or just like?
No, you basically send a move, right? And you replace one of your moves with one of the friends' moves.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So it's not like it's super overpowered. And then like for your actual friends that you have, there's an ability link, which means if I go ahead and I max out the monk, which is the first class that you get, you go ahead and you have all of his abilities if you ability link with the character.
It sounds like it could be handy.
It is, and I was like, wait a second, this is absurdly powerful. But then you take a look at it, and you can only use classes that you have access to.
Mm-hmm.
And because your stats scale on job level as well as character level, the extra and you don't have all the ability slots for the ones that are stronger, you can't mix and match like you would want to until you get to the point where it is that helpful. So,
all right,
yeah,
cool. Like there's like a lot of surprisingly cool systems in place in that game, even though they're all like way fucking complicated.
My tip to you is don't ignore the tutorial quest thing. Because I did.
Did you fuck yourself?
Well, no, eventually I found that out, but I was like ways into the game where it would have been a lot helpful for me to know earlier.
Yeah.
Like this tutorial stuff is that you can finish this before you clear Act 1. You can. You don't have to, of course.
How far into that game are you? Like, are you close to the end, do you think?
I think so. Act 4?
Maybe
so it's like
5 acts? I don't know.
Maybe like it. Okay, so it's near that ending point, but because it's a JRPG, you know it's not ending.
Yeah, it's like this is the red herring ending.
Yep.
And then the final boss is actually going to show. It's like the full-on Ni no Kuni bait and switch.
Yep.
Although Ni no Kuni did it probably the best, I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because the player knew what the fuck was happening. But the characters had no clue. Alright. 40 hours in, man. Yeesh. Mark Griffiths in the comments, he's watching on YouTube. He says, I'm taking a break from JRPGs at the moment, but when I come back, I've got Tales of Xillia, Grace's F, and Symphony HD all waiting to be played. I'll get around to Tales of the Abyss at some point, but it won't be anytime soon.
Well, you've been binging them for like the last month or two, Mark.
I know.
So I don't blame you.
He went through Tales of Vesperia in like 2 days, and that's a 70-hour game. So, it's like
Binge and trap ain't good, man.
Yeah, man.
Power through at a slower pace.
Mark Griffiths binges games faster than like me, and that's saying something. 'Cause I have nothing but time, for the most part. All right. Anything else, Scott?
Not too much worth mentioning. No.
No more Last of Us. Trying to power through.
Well, no. It's like I went ahead and I tried, but I realized one of the biggest things that keeps turning me off from playing it, like not like from away from the game itself, but from like actually sitting down and playing it, which goes for any game that I go to sit down and play down there, is that the TV turns off sporadically.
Jeez.
So I can't get that TV to stay on long enough for me to finish that boss fight. So that boss fight is not happening.
Yeah. Get that TV
So
fixed, man.
that's got me a little upset.
Yeah, I bet. That sucks. So does the TV just turn off and it won't turn back on for like a certain amount of time?
Well, sort of. It goes and it turns off. And then you gotta go and you gotta turn it on. And it takes like 5-10 seconds to, boot back up. But then it's got a real high chance of just turning off again.
Stupid. Damn you, TVs!
Like, I'll get back up, I'll walk back down, and it'll turn back off. I can pause the game in the middle of it, but it'll be like 15 minutes before I can actually get back into the game. By that time, you're too frustrated to do much.
Yeah. Speaking of TVs, I don't know what the fuck Microsoft did, but those Xbox voice commands are giving me trouble now.
The update?
After the update, yeah. Can't even get it to turn on anymore.
Oh, you can't say Xbox on when it comes on anymore?
Nope.
Do it right now.
Xbox on. Oh, that time it works.
Okay.
Bullshit. Maybe it's because I shouted it. Like, I usually I can just say it, like I'm saying a word or words, and it'll just turn on, no problem.
Yeah, maybe they turned down the sensitivity on it.
Yeah, I think I just need to do recalibration on the Kinect again. I don't know. It'll turn off in an hour anyway, so I'm not worried about it. No, I'm just shitting. What about you? What have you been playing?
Let's see. I played to beat Sonic the Hedgehog 2 because I felt like playing that again.
Okay.
Don't do like my Sonic games again, but yeah, I did that. All the Chaos Emeralds, Super Sonic, beat that game. Still fun.
Pin Onslaught says that TV man just shuts off like every 5 minutes.
It does.
But yeah. That game's still fun. So now I'm getting ready to probably do. I think I'm just gonna do like Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I think I'm just gonna flat out just do that because I don't know if I ever. No, in fact, I never did do that. I saw a friend do it, but I never actually got all. What's it? It's all 7 Chaos Emeralds and it's all 7 of the not Master Emeralds. It's called something else, but there's another set of emeralds that you're supposed to get, and then you get the Super Emeralds, so you'd be like that Feature Sonic. The one that is like when you look at it, it's like a level above Super Sonic. So Super Sonic 2. I don't know. Shut up. But yeah.
So it's like this is the Super Sonic like Ascended Saiyan. That's what they called it.
Yeah, that's why I said Super Sonic. That's why I said shut up.
It's Ascended Saiyan. Just like push glasses up my nose. Like, no one ever calls it that. Like they do it once. Super Saiyan 2. And then Greg shows up. Says, "Not as cool as Super Saiyan 3. He grunted so much he passed out. Come on, guys, it's cool." I don't know. The hair never did it for me, guys. Hair never did it for me. It's too much hair. Like I feel you would
What,
get in
you-
the way.
What you don't? You're not a fan of Super Saiyan 3 Goku or
Not,
Gotenks?
not really. Like Gotenks, I thought it worked for Gotenks. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he's like half size. But like Goku, like his eyebrows just turned into brow. It was just like
Yeah.
exploding out of his forehead. I'm like, whoa! Calm that shit.
Yeah, it's weird. And they have pupils now, and that's also weird. But
Yeah, it's fucking with me.
But yeah, remember, isn't Sonic 3 Knuckles your favorite?
yeah,
Alex.
it is. Like
Alex?
like I. Oh,
No, not me.
sorry.
Oh, that was Sonic 2, Sonic and Tails.
Sonic 2 is my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sonic 2 is definitely the better game. As far as like, I don't know, like I don't know how many times I played Sonic 2, but like I played that like.
Isn't
almost every
Super
day when I was
Sonic a
kid.
thing
Like,
in 1, 2? That was there from the beginning?
No,
Oh,
it was 2 that introduced it.
oh okay.
But yeah, Sonic 2 is definitely my jam. It's like if there was a category for like the most jam game, like that's my game, Sonic 2. Because I can just go through that like no problem. Go through the Death 8, no problem. Do it without getting hit, no problem. Yeah, like, but like Sonic 3 and Knuckles, that one is just like it's just a crazy game. It's just like there's 2 games into one. So that game is like super long. It's like a 6-hour game when like Sonic 2 is like maybe 2 hours if you're slow in the game. So you know that's just as a all in.
I'm
all in
slow.
its own.
I'm slow in those games.
You're too slow. But yeah. But yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is still a really great game, and I'll play Sonic 3 and Knuckles because why not? I've been enjoying those. Been playing a lot of Mass Effect 3 lately.
Yeah,
Because-
getting some Chevios, or not Chevios.
I got the Chevios done.
Yeah, the
The
tweets.
Chevios are done.
It's like, oh
Yes.
man, I forgot how good Leviathan is. I'm like,
Yeah, I've been playing it since and you haven't even gotten it. So shut up.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, Leviathan is really good. It's a really good story, and it does like a lot of different things. That's not really in. Well, I would say not. It does a lot of different things. That's not in Mass Effect 3. Some in Mass Effect 2, but not Mass Effect 3. So yeah, I still I forgot how good the Leviathan DLC was, and I beat that, and I started Omega again. And even though it's not as good, like I like the I like the world building, like how even though we know what Omega is, like don't really know what Omega is type of thing, and like they try to explain it to you in that DLC. Like that's just
Arya
already
is
it.
Omega, right?
Yeah.
Don't fuck with Arya.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
But,
know, I'm actually out of all the DLC for Mass Effect 3, more than Leviathan and
Citadel.
and Citadel, I guess. I'm most curious to play Omega,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Just for the-
yes,
Just for the female Turian.
50% of it is the female Turian, but I do kind of want to watch like Arya fuck some shit up, because I bet that would be pretty good.
Yeah, she's fucking crazy powerful. She got one move that does an explosion. Like it's literally just a biotic explosion and takes out
Fuck it.
everything around the area. She's so overpowered. She's so OP in that game. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. She's like the Super Saiyan 3 of the fucking Mass Effect universe.
Oh.
She's all brow.
Yeah, that's actually still a great game. Just in case you didn't know. I don't say it enough on a weekly basis.
I like Mass Effect 3 overall.
Yeah.
It is.
The
The moments are hard and fast and real good.
And there's rumors about like the HD collection, the HD collection coming out soon.
I hope that's true, because I don't want to have to buy the DLC for PS3. I'd rather just buy the whole fucking thing again if it had all the DLC.
Yeah, I would. It's like that. Is that WWE Network and Kingdom Hearts 2.5? That's this is something that's gonna consume me. It'll just take me away from everything.
It's one
And
or
it scares
all of them.
Yeah.
There's no in between. Yeah, I gotcha.
But yeah. When that gets announced, I'll be all over that. Like, ain't nobody's business. Um, Played the Peggle 2 demo just because, and that was
Ooh.
okay.
Yeah, I
It
still
doesn't.
no interest in Peggle. I don't know.
Peggle is interesting. I'll say the Peggle 1 is actually like really cool and really addictive in a good way. From the demo I played the Peggle 2, I didn't feel that magic like I did for Peggle 1, which is weird. Like in Peggle 1, I did both the PS3 and Xbox 360 downloadable version. I just beat both campaigns because I thought it was just that much fun. It's dumb in like a non-effort kind of way. Just like, oh, watch that ball bounce. That's awesome. But yeah, like I played this demo or of it, this free trial of it, and I don't know. It just seemed okay. They put a lot of animation to it, like, but like I don't know, they look so stupid to me now. I don't like the animation for it. It's weird. I don't know. It doesn't do it for me. I don't know. Maybe when I get my Xbox One, I'll buy it and get the HD version of it, HD version of it.
Yeah, that's
Because
sweet
I don't know.
HD version.
Hmm. Other than that, play a little bit more Murmur of Rebirth just to get through that. Still getting through that DLC. Finally beat the first boss in that game. That boss was kind of tough. This got a bunch of ravens. I had to like beat down, and I beat them down, so that was great. So I just actually opened the world, and I haven't actually ran through it yet, but I'll plan to do that sometime this week. I tried out that the Record Run iOS game. From Harmonix, they're a new for you to pay game that's like you put your own music in and like you do uh, like a rhythm based endless runner. I don't know. It's just okay. I don't really dig it all that much. It doesn't really do it for me. As far as like someone who like likes to play rhythm games a lot, like I was just saying earlier today. I was looking on Amazon to buy what is it Taiko Drum Master. I just had this feeling to want to play that game. Like I've only seen it like a couple of times in my life, and like I never actually played it myself. But I just felt like, oh, I need a good rhythm game, and like I always wanted to play Taiko Drum Master. So I'm about to invest like $30 to buy a PS2 version, and like hook up my PS2 to my TV and play Taiko Drum Master just because I want to, and play Rock the Dragon from Dragon Ball Z just because that's one of the songs on there for some dumb reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's okay. Like I said, you can put your own music to it, which is fine. But it's just like swipe up, swipe down, left, right. It doesn't really do it for me. There's no rhythm heaven. There's no theater rhythm. Like it doesn't do it for me. Other people might like it. I don't know. It doesn't really do it for me. It's free though, so try it out. You might like it.
Yeah.
Um,
Like maybe. I'm sure Harold loves it somewhere.
yeah, he did. He says his new Rock Band Blitz, so he thinks it. Um, Other than that, I've been playing threes, which is like I'm
Come
I'm
back.
so I'm so no. I've never stopped playing threes. That's the thing. I've always been playing threes. I've never mentioned it, and I'm so fucking done with threes. But I still keep playing with it. I'm so I don't want to play that game anymore. But like it's like with like anytime there's downtime, anytime I have to wait for a loading screen or someone to finish talking or something like that, I just bust out threes and just go through one session of it. I do
That
that
is
almost every fucking day, and I'm so sick of it, but I keep playing it. I
that's
hate it now.
that's me and fucking Disco Zoo. Because like literally, I got everything all. There's nothing left, but I still open that fucking app and I wake up all my animals. Like what am I doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Delete it. Delete it.
Well, I can't delete it because sometimes I gotta get down with a chip tune and play Funky Bus. But when I do, I wake up all my animals and I'm just accumulating. I have like 40 million gold now, and I can't spend it on anything. I could go free more animals and get nothing for it.
But you're gonna do it anyway.
No, I haven't gone back and freed any more animals. I just keep waking them up and I keep getting the gold, and I'm like I can't even throw disco parties anymore. Like,
And the thing about me like opening threes every time I go to open threes on my iPhone, I keep looking at my The World Ends With You I was like, oh yeah, I should still play that game. I'm like halfway through. I'm still in the middle of the Joshua shit. I haven't even got to the end of the game yet in that one because like I love the DS version. This one is a great port of it. It's not as good as the DS version, but it's a great port. It looks HD. It plays great. I like it and everything, but I just keep hitting threes and it just makes me mad and upset.
Get rid of it.
But I need something to play in my downtime.
Exactly.
I
Like,
need
it needs to be
something
there.
to play for like 1 minute, and threes does scratch that itch, even though it's like literally just go 2 to 1, go 3 to 3, go 6 to 6, go 9 to 9, and all that. I can't do that. I'm so done with that game, but I can't.
Okay.
I can't delete it. And other than that, I've been playing The Walking Dead season 2, episode 2. I finally got around to doing it.
Thoughts?
And I tell you, oh, that was cool. One of the things, like the big reveal of it was complete and utter BS. Because like I went back to look how that happened. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. It was like a sewer at the bottom, but no, there's no way. Come on, there's no way. But it was there. I enjoyed it though. I don't know, like I heard yours complaints about it, and like I don't really get that much, and whatever. For what I played though, I enjoyed it, and yeah, I don't know, like like I've got to play Walking Dead just to play it whenever, and that was literally like I've been putting that off for so damn long, and then I just played it just in one sitting. I enjoyed it immensely actually. And then like I was like, oh, I'm on a good run. I'm gonna start Wolf Among Us, and then like, oh wait, I got distracted, and then I didn't start it. So I got like 3 episodes downloaded, and I still haven't started that yet. So I don't know. I wanted to play it, but I haven't gotten around to it yet.
I'm curious. I'm more curious to see what you think of Wolf Among Us in comparison to Walking Dead season 2. Because like, I mean, Jarrett reviewed the first episode. And I reviewed the second, and the third one actually. The release date was announced like 4 minutes ago, which is next week.
Oh, you're talking about Walking Dead, sorry.
Yeah, Walking Dead. But like Jarrett didn't like the first episode. He disliked it more than I did, but I definitely didn't love it. I just fucking dog, stupid. And I definitely had a lot of problems with the second episode. Just because the first half was just not good at all. And then the second half was good. And it picked up in a really good way. And it ended on a really good note. But I felt like it didn't make up for it. For that really weak first half. But like, kind of playing that, side to side with Wolf Among Us, because they're doing they're alternating the seasons, one new episode every month, one of Wolf Among Us, next month Walking Dead, next month Wolf Among Us, and just kind of playing them back to back. It's just it feels like the creative and interesting writing and character development is happening on one side, and just it's not happening on the other. But
well,
like
isn't that more because that's a new thing?
I don't know. I don't know. That's the question of the month, right? I don't know. But it's just like what I've played of The Walking Dead season 2 is just not, it's not appealing, I guess. It could just be like that story is trite to me at this point, but I don't know. Like I don't like how they're portraying the characters, and it's just like in episode 2, for example, Walking Dead, like some of the characters are like flip-flop within the same conversation.
Well, how's that different from Kenny from season 1?
It felt like Kenny had more of a through line, at least in my playthrough. Like he always felt like he had one thing that he was sticking to, which is like, hey, my son is the priority, and like I'm always going to side with the side that is looking out for him. But like some of these characters just. They're like, I trust you, but now I don't, and I do again. Or like, I trust you, and I have no reason to trust you, especially with what you said to me last episode, but fuck it. More specifically, the one character that I'm thinking of.
What, the pregnant woman?
Yeah. Like I said something like rude to her, and then like
Okay.
all of a sudden, this is totally fine with me. And I'm like, okay.
Well, she's mood swings, bro. I
Yeah,
don't know.
she got
Maybe.
these pregnant mood swings. It's just like her saying like I for some odd reason I trust you. And I'm like, why? Why do you trust me? I don't know. We'll see. Like I'm
Okay.
I'm waiting to pass kind of judgment on like if I'm hopeful for the season or not after the third episode, which is kind of third episode being the climax, the turning point. We'll see. So yeah, it comes out next Tuesday. So there you go.
Yep.
Breaking news.
That's everything on Bitplane.
All right. Then we will take a break, and when we come back, we will talk about some news because some news kind of happened. Not a lot of news, but some. So we will take a break, and we will be back in just a little bit, guys.
Shoot, shoot, shoot.
So, a break actually happening, or no?
I have to pee. That's for sure.
I'll pick up some Brave Default. Oh shit, what the fuck is... Oh yeah.
I'll be back in a minute. Where is it?
And this guy's wiping out everybody. Fuck you, man. You know what? I'm just gonna wipe. That's not cool. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Oh, I'm not. Okay. That works. I'm gonna go get a snack. I'll be back in a minute or two.
All right.
Yeah, Alex is taking absurdly long to go pee.
Yes.
Did you listen to Best Zelda Rap Ever?
No, send me a link through the chat.
It's it's in the it's on the YouTube thing. We pulled it up earlier.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Alright,
there we go. He's back.
let me show you some dope chip tunes. The power of mixer technology. Alright, so you got that sweet disco zoo music, right? Damn it. I always tap it 10 times.
I can go get a snack. Second break.
Yeah. I could jam to this all day. And then when you play it, but it never lasts long because I'm bad at that game. But yeah, some dope fucking chip tunes.
Nabshin didn't listen to the Best Zelda Rap Ever, so he's doing that right now, I believe.
Oh, okay. He's heard it before.
He has?
He probably hasn't seen the video. Yeah, he has the album as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's in his car. Okay, you've seen it as well.
We got the whole album. That album's awesome.
I fucking love Ego
Yeah,
Raptor and Danny.
that album came out how long ago?
Maybe
Was it
like
last
a couple.
October?
It was like a few months ago. It was definitely this year.
Yeah, because I'm finding it out about now, and the Zelda animation came out a month ago.
Yeah, they've been like doing the animations over time.
Mm-hmm.
It came out December 17th, 2013. It was a week after Misanthrope. That's what it was.
Misanthrope?
It's
Misanthrope.
not much I know. Misanthrope. Oh, I forgot to mention something. I'll mention that in the next part.
Monthly Passions?
Oh. No, not that. Although I'll do that after this.
Cool. Oh no, Nudus never responded, so I was like, yeah, I'll just come out for this. We already know.
Yeah, he's got some life going on right now.
Okay.
A lot of it. So
That's fine.
Yeah, I didn't play anything new this month. Except for Wolf Among Us.
Mercenary King.
Yeah, but I didn't play like a ton of it. I played like 4 hours or so.
Mm-hmm.
News in gaming. Let's talk about some news, guys. First, I want to. It's kind of news related, I guess. Not really, but I got the chance to review a book. I'm working on a longer form review, but yeah, I've mentioned it on the show before because I've mentioned I've started working on my freelance portfolio. And I said that there was a book that helped me out quite a bit because I knew nothing about freelance writing, especially about video games. It was called Up, Up, Down, Down, Left, WRITE. By, I believe is how you actually say it. And he actually just put out a book this week, on 1st of May, which like the day before we were recorded last week, I believe. Writing hacks. 55 writing hacks, I believe. And to get it a little early and then write a little review of it. I'm working on a longer review for, but it's pretty good. Different kind of book than Up, Up, Down, Down, Left, Right. It's kind of like 55 different little tips. It's kind of like a pocket guide, and it's the stories of just kind of like, hey, how do you improve your like work ethic or women of how you write. It's really short. It's 55 tips, 5 categories. Yeah, and I breeze through it. It's a really, like I said, it's super short. It's 62 pages long. But it is definitely more of like a companion to Down, Down, Left, Right. It's not like super detailed. But yeah, I'm working on a full written review. But check it out.
How are the graphics?
It's for people who want to write about video. This will help you. There are words in it. I would give the graphics like an 8.0. But it's pretty good. If I wrote a review, there would not be a score on it for reference. It would just be like a, hey, this is what I think of this Kotaku review. Yeah, pretty good. Check it out. It's on Amazon. It's $3 for the Kindle version. So there you go. Or you can go buy it off of nathanmunier.com and get the PDF file directly. Yeah, just wanted to put that out there. I forgot to mention it in the first part of the show. So, anyway, now let's talk about some news, guys. Harmonix is doing a Kickstarter for Amplitude. You guys remember Amplitude?
We do.
Yeah.
Gem. Harmonix Gem for the PlayStation 2. Well, they said they want to make a new one, but they're going to do it through Kickstarter. Kickstarter launched on Monday. Not a 30-day Kickstarter. It is a 20-day Kickstarter. Monday.
I think it was 18.
Not sure. Anyway, on Friday, May 23rd, 5 p.m. The goal is 775,424 backers, and has made 182,000 of its goal. So, don't know if this will get funded, but we'll say segmentation from 3 video game console devices. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm lagging a little bit.
There's never a big amplitude.
It's kind of like weird. Not really weird, but it's like I lost my thought. It's like the momentum when it first got revealed and stuff like that was like so huge. It was like everybody was talking about it. It was trending on Twitter. And like you saw like the huge numbers. Like it made up to 10 to 100,000 in a day. But it's like now it's just like completely dead as far as like the momentum right now. So it's like, because Kickstarters where like usually have a really strong beginning and really strong end, but like it's just this middle part that's like you just get nothing from it. And like I know Harmonix is actually looking to see like what they can do or like how they can like actually explain to people like or just trying to get a better understanding like what they can do to like get the word out, how get this like keep the momentum up for the game, because like I said right now it's just kind of dead. So like I don't know, like it's like the first like couple of hours I saw this Kickstarter going, I'm like, oh yeah, this is totally getting funded, and now it's like kind of dead right now. So I'm like, oh, I don't even know anymore. So hopefully it will. Though.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I definitely like to see it. I was never like into Amplitude, like I said, but I really like Rock Band Blitz. So.
Mm-hmm.
Really I believe. But yeah, it's a cool thing. It's weird to see Harmonix doing a Kickstarter, but yeah, they are kind of independent, mostly independent. So there you go. But yeah, I figured we mention it for Harold out there, friend of the show, Harold Price. Nintendo. Well, where to start with Nintendo? All of our other news stories are about Nintendo.
That's funny.
Nintendo, instead of launching Pokemon Z, like we all expected, are launching a Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire remake this year. November, excuse me. They are releasing...
I guess that's reasonable.
Yeah.
I
Alpha
guess.
Omega Ruby. Yeah. For the 3DS. So, 3DS and 2DS. Excuse me. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Would you play this, Scott?
I don't know. This is one of the ones I skipped out on. So it's like one of the ones that like maybe, but at the same time, it's too soon between this one and the last one.
Yeah. Like, I got Silver and then Crystal when I was younger. And then after that, I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Get two of the game. Or at least that's what I thought. And then I held out when Ruby and Sapphire originally came out. I hated Emerald. Emerald's like super boring. Like, my memories from this generation, from Gen 3,
right?
That's like, there's a lot more surfing involved, and it's just, I don't know. Is Team Plasma or whatever, Team Galaxy, whatever the fucking bad guys in this one are. I just, yeah, they're
could have just stuck with Team Rocket.
I had Emerald and Ruby. They could have. I mean, I liked the people they had for Black and White and Black and White 2. Yeah, they could have just stuck with Team Rocket. But yeah, it seems like the Nintendo is going to continue on the train of remaking Pokemon games. I haven't played any of the remakes yet. So maybe like if
I don't know.
I heard this.
So
go ahead, guys.
like the last remake, like my brother got, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll pick it up. And it was essentially, because it was still done in the same style, it was hardly any different than the original game. The sounds weren't changed. The art style, of course, since they all had the same kind of art style, that was not improved on all that much. It was just the same as Diamond and Pearl. And then a couple of those features were brought over from Diamond and Pearl just for the aesthetics. And then you had the trading system. That's all that was new to the game. Everything else was a remake.
Pedometer thing, though.
Doesn't count as part of the game. The fuck?
Well, you could fucking level up your Pokemans with it. Walking around.
Well, I just never used it, so.
Yeah. Like, I think the reason that people love Soul Silver and Heart Gold so much is because Gold and Silver were already the best Pokemon games. Like, hey, the Johto region, and then you can also do the Kanto region. Which none of the other
Is that the only...
Except for...
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Pokemon X and Y are different because they have like a bunch of post-game stuff.
Well,
which
right. But
games have
they
really done
don't
before.
exactly have a. They don't
Yeah,
have
you
like.
don't go to a new region for that, but yeah,
Right.
it's just Gold, Silver, and Crystal are the only games where you actually go to two completely different regions and fight two sets of gym leaders.
Uh,
And Heart Gold and Soul Silver were so well received. But yeah, I firmly believe Crystal is the best Pokemon game. It's
it's
absolutely
Crystal.
Crystal's the mesh between gold and
Gold and
silver.
Silver. Yeah, it's the third
Oh,
tier
okay.
game. Yeah,
That's
and
where
it's
I stopped. I knew that.
Crystal is the first game where you can play as a female Pokemon trainer. Fun fact.
Oh, nice. Didn't know you know.
So yeah, I don't know. Like Mark Griffiths in the YouTube comments says, I put something crazy like 200 hours into Ruby back in the day. So all Pride does. Fuck Team Magma.
There's two different teams. The fuck?
Kyurem and yeah. And they're like warring for power.
But they don't have any in the first place.
I don't remember the story to Ruby and Sapphire. That is not. It didn't stick with me. But yeah, I don't know. It's for 3DS, so like if they incorporate all the stuff that made X and Y so fucking amazing, then yeah, maybe. Before we do this one Nintendo issue, do you want to go over your two Nintendo stories?
Sure. So Nintendo is looking to make use of their what's it like NFC
Near
figurine
field
character.
communication.
Is that what it stands for?
Yep.
Okay. Well, pretty much the same technology that's in Disney Infinity and Skylanders. They're trying to like actually make use to it because it's built into the Wii U gamepad, but it's never really been used. So they're trying to do this out with different well essentially they're trying to do like it's basically like say if you have a Mario figure and like we'll say like you're playing like Smash Brothers or something like that and like you just get like I guess like some stats or something like that from Smash Brothers and like you could take that Mario figure and put it into like maybe like I don't know Mario Galaxy 3 or something like that and just put that Mario on there and then like something from that game will influence that game and just like keep moving on from like game to game that has this feature for it. It even works for 3DS because they'll have like a little separate portal thing for that. So I just think that's pretty much a cool thing. They're just trying like it's definitely something I would buy because I'm dumb, but it seems like something that give them more revenue. I guess you would say. So I could just like. I couldn't see this being like anything more like maybe like you'll get like an exclusive like exclusive Mario if you like have this Mario transfer from one Mario to another Mario game. So like I don't know like maybe like a Ghost Mario or something dumb like that. Hopefully something that doesn't break the game, but like something cool nonetheless.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. I didn't expect it. I was expecting more people to be talking about it when I heard about it, but yeah, no one's really I can tell.
Like they showed it off at in like a week footage for Rayman Legends like E3 like
The tech
they had to
demo.
do yeah they showed like the little rabbit that was supposed to be on there and supposed to have rabbits in Rayman Legends which never came to light or whatever so but that's when it was with the Wii U exclusive back then so I don't know maybe they're trying to like actually use that idea for something.
Yeah, like if they like I have no idea why they aren't using this for Smash Brothers. Like, I mean, maybe they will. I don't know, but
I think they said Smash would be the first game to use it. I think.
Okay. It's just like with the fact that there are literally collectible figurines in Super Smash Brothers selling like exclusive store figurines to get like good stuff, maybe like an assist trophy that you can only get if something like that. Like, and it would, yeah, I would fucking buy it because I'm snobbish. So, Yeah, there you go. I don't know. Cool. I'd like to see. I'd like to see more of that. Also, I just want to point out. I just retweeted this on Twitter. Find it. Nature Valley used a Persona 4 reference in one of their advertisements on Twitter, and it's incredible.
Who's Nature Val?
Oh,
Oh, I did see that.
There you go.
That's weird.
Good on you, Nature Valley. Ends up, bar people, big fans of JRPGs. What about the other story?
So Tomodachi Life, a game I'm super looking forward to in the next month or so. Well, it turns out you won't be able to have same-sex marriage in that game, which is kind of a bummer. But it's in a way it's kind of understandable at the same time. One, it's a year-old game that came out in Japan a year ago, so it's not, and they're actually just like kind of the game's pretty much already done, so they're just bringing it over already. So it's like it's kind of a thing like, well, sorry we didn't. It's not something we really thought about. It's like we were just making a game. We're just trying to make something fun, and then we're just putting it out, and that's kind of how it turns out to be. And there's a movement going on right now. It's not really over, but like the momentum is over for it. I'll call it Mequality, where like a gay male was saying like, hey, let's just let Nintendo know that hey, we kind of want this in Tomodachi Life. If you can patch it in, maybe, or just to let you know, hey, maybe in the future, just put this in your head and like, hey, we will like having same sex in it. And I think that's a healthy way of doing it. Like not to be like sitting like death threats or something like that. Just something saying like, hey, we just want you to know that even if you can't put it in this game in particular, maybe just think about it for the future. So like in a future game, if you make it like a Tomodachi like 2, then bring it over here that just have this feature, so like we could feel included because it's one thing to be like it's one thing to be like not be included. Like you want to be included in everything that you like. Anytime you buy something, you feel included. Like some people are like what just now, like what last year they just now put women in Call of Duty. So it was like kind of a thing like, hey, now we're finally included. We're finally you can finally see us as just something that's in this game. So I can see why some of the gay people are just like, hey, we want to be included as well in your game. Unfortunately, Nintendo, the way they answered it sort of dumbly, but like they were pretty much saying like we were trying to make just like a social commentary about like not having this game out, and I think this should have been more front of like, hey, we made this game a year ago. The game's pretty much already done, and it's like it's not something we can really patch in because it'll kind of break the game because like most people don't know this, but like in a previous version of Tomodachi Life that came out in Japan. They had like a sort of save transfer thing that you could put to the 3DS version, kind of like in Mass Effect. You just bring your save over to one save, and like doing that kind of like messed up the code a little bit. And in that, it actually did have like a man and a man, like or a woman and a woman marrying each other and like having a kid, but like it wasn't intentional. It was like kind of a glitch type of thing, and like
essentially it broke the game.
Yeah, so like they put a patch out to fix that. So like people are misconstruing like, oh, they're trying to just patch out the gayness out of it. No, it wasn't really that. It was like just too much cash in the game, and like it was just, essentially was breaking the game. So, but like I was saying, like this is just saying like this Nintendo like should just like I think this is the most healthiest way of doing it. It's just like letting Nintendo know, hey, we know you can't do it right now, but like just in the future, just put it in your head like in the next game. So I'll be more enticed to buy that game because I know that you listen and like you actually care. That like, hey, maybe you should have same-sex marriage in the next game as well.
I'll read the quote here from Nintendo. This is the statement they gave to the Associated Press. Quote, Nintendo never intended to make any commentary with the launch of, end quote. It continues to say, quote, the relationship options in the game represent a playful alternate world rather than a real-life simulation. We hope that all of our fans will see that Tomodachi Life was intended to be a whimsical and quirky game, and that we were absolutely not trying to provide social commentary, end quote. Yeah. It is weird, like, they are kind of very much... This isn't happening. They're drawing a line in the sand. A phrase, evidently. But yeah, it is weird, like, the fans said, like... We want Nintendo was like, no. But yeah, maybe if there is a Tomodachi Life 2 for the 40, I can only hope there will be gay marriage in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright, let's get to the news of the day. Our
Community got
monthly-
canceled, oh my god! I'm so...
Yeah, Community got canceled. I'm sad about that, but yeah. Anyway, our monthly Nintendo is Doom news for the fiscal year of 2013, which ended on March 31st, 2014, my birthday. Nintendo posted a $229 million loss.
Oh, so it's all your fault.
Yeah, it's all my fault. My birthday
Shouldn't have been
wish came
born.
true. Nintendo. 2 years ago, I wished for Mega Man to get and they keep bagging me. Sell 2.72 million Wii U fiscal 2013, which is from April 1st, 2013 to March 31st, 2014, which is not that many. Especially considering Sony sold over 7 million at a higher price in, like, very comparable, but, you know, changing markets, I suppose. Nintendo estimates that in their next fiscal year, 3.6 million more Wii U's will be sold, which is also not that many. That's 60% less than Nintendo originally projected for this past year. The total Wii U worldwide are 6.17 million. Again, less than the total PS4 sold. And the total software sales on Nintendo's side is about 32.28 million, which is pretty good. With like million copies of Super Mario U, New Super Mario Bros. U, 2.17 million copies of Super Mario 3D World sold. So, they had the $229 million loss. Yen, that's 23.2 billion yen for the fiscal. 1 to 2. 12.24 million. Blah. 2DS. 2 million. Yes. Pokemon, since it launched in October, sold 2.6 million units, which is absurd. And Animal Crossing sold over 7.5 million. So, but yeah, like looking ahead, Nintendo is saying the Wii U still, quote, faces a challenging sales situation, end quote. And that their priority is to make the gamepad a, quote, the most important differentiate you. So, here's hope. I know we kind of talk about this like once a month, like I said. It seems like we have reaffirming back in January when Nintendo was projections down by a fuck ton. It's just reconfirming that yeah, they
you didn't even make
they're
that.
not selling a lot of stuff. They didn't even make the super cut down projections. But again, like Nintendo isn't in any immediate danger, but the Wii U as a console is, and like one thing, a lot of money this past fiscal year on R&D, presumably research and development was some kind of new console, which has been like that's been flying around the rumor mill for the past month or two. Nintendo's gonna unveil a new console, and then Nintendo's like, no, we're not. And then people still think they are. I don't know.
Well,
I
they
have
are
no
for
idea
China,
what Nintendo
but-
is planning.
I
Yeah.
mean, we're pretty sure
some-
another
some
one's going
news-
to come out, but not soon. We still
Yeah,
got
I have
3
a
years,
feeling
man.
Nintendo will do another home-based console. But like, I don't know. Maybe they'll do like a new version of the Wii U, a Wii U Slim. They've never really done that. They did the Wii Mini, but that wasn't like a big thing. But I don't know.
I think they're going to do some region specific consoles, or at least that's what it seemed like. Because they already announced they're doing a console for China, specifically China. So like, I'm thinking maybe, well, maybe that sounds stupid when I just said it out loud, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like something.
Well, one thing that we didn't mention last week, because I guess I didn't really think of it as news or big news, but yeah, like Microsoft announced that they are launching the Xbox One in China in September, and a couple months ago we said like, hey, the 10-year or 13-year console ban that China has had, banning any kind of home entertainment console in the country, is lifted. It lifted at the end of March, I think, or at the end of February or something like that, which is the first time in 12 or 13 years that video game consoles have been able to be sold in China, which is a fucking enormous market. It's an Asian market, which, you know, technology is always sold well in Asian markets, including China, and it's that country has a lot of people in it, in case you didn't know. So that is that's a big market, and Microsoft like getting out there and say like, hey, the Xbox One will be in China by the end of the year is a big deal. Even if it might not sell that well, it's such a big market that it will probably make a difference. I think Sony said that they're trying to get in China as well. I didn't find a news story for that. But yeah.
I don't even know.
So that's a big deal. I just wanted to mention. But yeah, any thoughts on Nintendo? Past what we've said in the past.
The weird thing with Nintendo is I don't. Well, like other than their exclusive, there's nothing really. Well, maybe I'll take that back because like the thing with the Vita is like the Vita's not really doing that great either.
Mm-hmm.
But like it's the fact that they have such a high attach rate with all the games that have like it's pretty much an empty machine. It's pretty much a Japanese machine, pretty much for a Japanese game. So that's where they're going to make it for. They're not going to make shit for PS4, so they're going to push it on the Vita. And if they come out here, they'll pretty much sell well if they have their expectations right. So those are the two selling points for a Vita, and like the one selling point for your Wii U is the fact that it's the Nintendo games. It's just the fact that I think they just need to put out not really more frequently, but like they just need to have a bigger palette of their Nintendo games to come out. Because like after Mario for the Wii U, we're talking about Wii U here. After Mario Kart 8 comes out this month, like what's the next thing to Smash? And that's not till winter. And maybe they'll announce something at E3, but more than likely that'll come around September. So that's about like 3 or 4 months of me not buying anything or not buying anything new, I should say, for my Wii U. So that might be a problem.
Yeah, Nintendo actually came out this week and said like, hey, to reiterate, Super Smash Bros. Is definitely coming out in 2013 or 2014. Excuse me. They said new game X, codename X, which we've only seen that one trailer, is definitely coming out in 2014. They said they said the Hyrule Warriors is definitely coming out in 2014, and one other game is definitely coming out in 2014. Bayonetta 2, yeah. They said like, hey, those 4 games are definitely coming to the Wii U in this year, which is, you know, them kind of coming out and reiterating that is encouraging, I think, especially with us basically writing off Smash Brothers as a 2015 game. I guess it raised in that. But, you know, like, for example, that Monolith game, you know, the guys that made
Xenoblade.
The Xenoblade, thank you.
Xenoblade.
Xenoblade Chronicles. Their game does. Um,
No, Xenoblade Chronicles.
and they were saying, yeah, they're saying X is coming out this year, and I'm sure we'll see it at E3. At least at this point, we have to. But yeah, it's less than encouraging, and like something like Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei, they have not said anything about that game since it was announced, and that's a Wii U game. So,
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. Scott, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Well, I'm just saying. Well, the only thing that I think is that they need to either bring back an older IP, like they kind of did with Kid Icarus that one time, or get a new one out there. As far as spread out goes.
Yeah. Someone was asking me on saying like, "Hey, what do you think Nintendo's going to announce at E3?" And I definitely think they're going to at least announce what a lot of people are saying no. They won't. I think they'll announce it. I think we'll get at least a teaser trailer or something.
Yeah, it's not gonna come out
They,
this year. So.
they might even skip it for this console, and that will make us all upset.
Yeah, well, that would be
They
just
might.
insane. It's like the new Zelda game is definitely not coming out this. They're just gonna try and keep, at least trying to sell that as a Zelda game that is available to consumers this year. But like the next amazing Aonuma Zelda game will get announced, I think, at E3. And I know we'll do our E3 predictions episode soon, before the end. Like they new. I cannot see them not announcing something new. At least like in a ideal world where Nintendo is trying to make a smart move to get new customers interested in them, because they right now we're attempting to pull from to sell Wii U's. So they need to start bringing in people that, you know, have said, man, yeah, Nintendo hasn't put out a new IP in a long time. And I don't count Tomodachi Life. Yeah, it's just, that seems like something that's got to happen.
That's not new anyway. It's a well-known series in Japan.
Okay, so there you go. But yeah, that's, if I was going to say anything about Nintendo's E3 or wherever they're going to go next, I would say hopefully it involves a new game. I read a really good Polygon article that went up last week about basically like, hey, Nintendo is kind of isolating itself from the most interesting parts of the industry, in that like they had a guy on Twitter that was kind of talking to indie developers, and then he tweeted something, and they basically shut down his Twitter account. And it just
Oh
doesn't
yeah, I
look
remember
good
that.
when like treat developers, fans,
Mm-hmm.
and like they're just, you know, they're on Twitter every day, interacting, making progress, and like that's how Borderlands 2 got to Vita, and that came out this week. That happened because of like kind of a Twitter joke, but it's a big deal, you know. It's like Nintendo just not even in an open faction with its fans, and like on social media, which I'm not saying social media, and the article said this, is not saying social media could save Nintendo at this point around the Wii U, but it would definitely help, you know.
You should look at the link I just sent out in the chat. It shows like
I have it
a
open.
oh, okay. It's a good graph showing like at least comparing like how the Wii is doing, even compared to like the Wii. Obviously, it's not going to even touch the Wii, but like compared to even to the GameCube, which is just like, ugh, this is like, oh wow, you're really not doing that great.
Yeah. Basically, the Wii U is less than the GameCube at this point, and the GameCube notoriously as well as the competition. Like the market for video games now, you know, in a post Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Wii world, more people play a lot of video games. So, food for thought. I guess. But, I think we've talked about
Yep.
the doom and gloom of Nintendo enough. This time around though. And Mark Griffiths also says, if Nintendo started releasing GameCube games on the eShop, I would buy a Wii.
Beautiful Joe, Wii U, what up?
Right, that would be, yeah, it's right. Beautiful Joe HD collection on the Wii U. All right, let's take another break, and when we come back, we will throw this show out. So we'll be back in just a little bit.
Choo, choo, choo. I don't leave on mechas. I've been getting lots of delay, so I'm just gonna leave and come right back.
All right. Let me Okay. It's just you and me now, Scott.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wanted to get a snack. But yeah, I'm reading this article, and I'm scrolling down to the comments, and, this time there's actually a chain that isn't a terrible read.
In the comments?
Yes. Nobishin's link. If you go ahead and click on the conversation between the first comment, and there's 14 others down there.
Mm-hmm. I had it open. There we go. So Sony is worse off than Nintendo financially, yet we only get constant report doom articles relating to Nintendo. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of both companies, but dear Lord, it's like the media has been rooting for Nintendo to fail. We're trying to scare them into innovating and finally creating something new IPs. It's pitiful how nearly everything is Mario Pokemon related. Their lineup has not really even changed since the 90s. PS4 is doing phenomenal, though. Yeah, Sony as a company is doing pretty terribly, but not the gaming scene. True. And seeing as how this is a gaming website, it's only natural for there to be more articles focused on the Wii U and PS4 rather than Nintendo and Sony. Sony's financial troubles are due to non-gaming divisions, but the PlayStation brand is doing well, while Nintendo is dependent around games. Well, I don't want either brand to fail. Out of the two, Sony would be more likely to fail. That wouldn't be because of their games, whereas Nintendo, that would be because of their sole reason.
What I miss?
Nothing. Scott pointed out a series of comments on that Game Informer article you linked us to that isn't full of garbage. Mike Futter, Game Informer says, first, it's a presentation of data taken directly from Nintendo. Second, compared to Nintendo, isn't an even comparison. Nintendo is games only. Sony is a multidisciplinary company with a huge number of massive business units. Sony's financials are horrendous on the corporate level. We've reported that. However, the game division is in the black. Does it matter that the company is doing poorly? Hell yes. There have been layoffs at Sony Computer Entertainment, studio closures, project cancellations. Can you imagine how bad it would be if gaming sector were in the red? This is simply about Nintendo's historical performance, or then where it's going. Nintendo doesn't have a fallback strategy weighed down by things. If Nintendo turns on, no matter how SCE struggles, it will still be faced with a company-wide problem that will influence how it operates. Yes. Thinking of out of the big three, Nintendo is the only video game only company.
Mm-hmm.
Out of almost any company in the world, Nintendo is the only video game company. Only.
I thought they had some other stuff as well. Or maybe I'm thinking about they used to be a playing card company. Maybe that's
They
what I'm
used to
thinking
be a playing card company, but they don't really have that branch anymore. That just kind of
about. Right.
disappeared in the 80s. Yeah. It is also weird to think of it that way, but like Nintendo is still like a multi-billion-dollar corporation sitting on a lot of money, whereas like Nintendo as a company just selling video games is better off than probably Microsoft or Sony.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially Sony. But like honestly, at this point, I would be okay with Microsoft and Sony spinning off the Xbox and PlayStation divisions into their own companies.
Mm-hmm.
Or they could spin off into one company, and we get the one console future that Dennis Dyack predicted. Yes! They just absorbed Nintendo. The end! Emails.
That's weird.
No, not really, because Silver PR doesn't even know we're recording right now, so of course he wouldn't know.
Yeah, he records his voicemails around 7 o'clock our time on Fridays.
Oh, okay.
Like literally the last minute he sent in a voicemail.
Yeah, he tweets me during the day saying like, "Hey, who's gonna be on? What are you gonna be talking about?" And I'll be like, "Yeah, this is kind of the gist of it." And then, yeah. What do you guys want to do?
Topic.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay, good. I like the font that you used down in the title section.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me make sure that my phone has the correct music.
I can send you a link if you need it.
I will let you know. Favorites? There we go. I got it.
What's one though?
It's the Deadly Premonition one.
Okay, good.
Oh my god, have you guys? I don't know if you've seen any ads recently. Have you seen the fucking car commercial? The car ad with Godzilla?
No.
Ugh. It's the worst advertisement I've ever seen.
Like how?
It makes me less excited for this awesome looking Godzilla movie. In that, like, basically it's Godzilla picking up a bunch of two-door cars and eating them. And then he picks up, like, a four-door car and he chokes on it and then spits it out.
Oh, dumb.
And then it's like, well, the Fiji Scion, it's bigger than it looks. And I'm like, what? But it's like the new Godzilla. Like the one that looks awesome and shit. It's the worst ad. Like, it's offensive to me as someone who's like, they're probably making a good Godzilla movie, and they're making it worse with this stupid fucking advertisement. So, if you get the chance, look it up so you can be angry. That was the ad that came on while I was loading up this video.
Okay.
So,
okay. Now you're ready.
all right. Right now we would we talk about some emails, but or voicemails, but we have none. It's the first
Or new
time
releases.
in months we haven't had anything or new releases. Well, I've drawn the line in the sand again. My new favorite phrase. We only do new releases when Evan's here. So, and Evan's off celebrating his birthday. But yeah, if you'd like to send us an email, if you have any questions for us, they don't necessarily have to be about video games. You can send it to mailsack@irrationalpassions.com. That's MAILSACK at IrrationalPassions.com. And if you'd like to leave us a voicemail, you can call 404-590-1337. Keep in mind that standard long-distance fees do apply. Other than that, to keep in touch with us, on Twitter, I am at AlFighter27. Scott is at WhatTechuz. Nabishin is at Nabishin186. That's NABESHIN 186. And don't forget to follow Evan at StickerGlue and wish him a happy birthday. Some other stuff, please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher Audio. It helps us out a lot, and we're new to Stitcher, so we would get some new attention if you guys rate us over there.
Is that why we have a new podcast player on the site?
Do we? It looks the same for me.
I mean, like, usually you have to click on the article to actually get to the podcast. Now it's actually like, there.
Sometimes I remember to embed it. That's all.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I've been testing it to see if it does anything for our listener count.
Okay.
I'll say. Follow the website on Twitter and like the show at IrrationalPod for updates on like when articles go up and when we are live and when the podcast is out. And please tell your friends. Word of mouth is the best way to spread the love. So, hey, if you tell two friends, and they tell two friends, and they tell two friends, that's like 4 people.
Like 6, isn't it?
And it's more than that. It's a dumb joke.
Okay.
Just to entertain myself. We will not be putting out a podcast on May the 30th. Instead, we will be putting out a Taylor cast as well as probably a Mario Kart 8.
I'm ready to go whenever, bro. Whenever. Except today.
Cast. And that week as well. Is that familiar? Our closing topics by Nabishin. It's kind of like an off-topic thing or a different type of thing that we do at the end in a fun, laugh, have fun, blah 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 type thing.
Mm-hmm.
This week, Nabishin's going to close it out for the first time in forever.
So I was thinking, this Power Rangers, like if you don't know, in the news right now, Power Rangers is actually going to be put into a movie now. So actually get rebooted as the Mighty Power Rangers. So it's like finally, now 90s nostalgia is going to be made into movies now. So if you think about it, it's like anything that's like what we grew up with is going to be made into movies now, like, you know, Power Rangers, Pinky and the Brain, Tiny Toons, whatever you can go get that came out in the 90s. Now everything's going to be in movie form now, kind of like how the 80s was like the Smurfs and He-Man, all that other stuff are in movies now. So what are you dreading is going to happen? What 90s thing are you just dreading? It's like, oh my god, it's going to be made into a movie and it's probably going to suck.
Do you have one, Nabishin, to kick us off?
Do I have one? Yeah, like I said this on Facebook, just funnily enough. I was like, oh man, I can't wait to see Pinky the Brain in CG with all these pop culture references and like having Narf just like, what does it mean? What does Narf mean? And like, it's just gonna be terrible. I can just see it because like there's no way it could be good. A CG Pinky in the Brain, like, oh no, I don't want to see that.
Right. When you transfer characters across mediums, it doesn't go too well, generally.
That's why video games shouldn't be made in movies. Sorry, guys. Just it hasn't worked out yet. It will.
Oh, you have anything?
I
got all
need the question
bummed
again
out.
because that answer got me confused.
Like what's something in the '90s, something that you grew up with, preferably in the '90s. It's like something that came out in the '90s that it's gonna be probably made into the movie that you're just like dreading. It's like, oh, there's no way this could be good in any way, shape, or form.
Nothing right now.
There's nothing that you liked in the '90s that's like, I wonder.
That's also becoming a movie or updated. Nothing right now.
No, like,
if you're restricting it to the 90s.
Think become on.
Or that I think that will.
Yeah.
Nope, you can't see much of that stuff becoming a movie.
Hey Arnold movie. Fuck that. But I can
A
totally
live
see it
action.
happening.
I can't. That's over and done with. I'm sorry.
That beautiful moment with Pigeon Man just put that in live action. Like, what's that gonna look like? He's gonna fly away with a bunch of pigeons attached to him. Monkey Man, Chocolate Boy, who's pretty much just a crackhead. God. And even the characters, they look weird. Like, how are you gonna make Hey Arnold look like a football head? Or who's gonna look like a football head? It doesn't even make sense. See, I just broke the whole movie. Doesn't even make sense for it.
I don't know. Like a Rugrats thing. 'Cause Rugrats was huge.
Yeah, but Rugrats are super ugly. They're just ugly kids. All right, we got.
I'm just like
Here's some nice things.
go ahead.
We got Ren and Stimpy. We have Rocko's Modern Life, Dexter's Lab, Cow and Chicken, Johnny Bravo.
Oh god.
Johnny Bravo will actually
Cow and
probably
Chicken.
be okay.
Oh god, if they tried to do Cow and Chicken.
Who would play Johnny Bravo in
Like,
live action?
Like I heard this like years ago. Like there was a rumor that there was gonna be a Johnny Bravo live action movie and it was supposed to be played by The Rock. And that's when The Rock was actually like that charismatic and not so muscle built like a super action star type of thing. But like back then it seemed to make sense. I don't know about now, but The Rock seemed like a good idea at the time.
No. No.
This lag is crazy.
I'm still all for the Waka from Final Fantasy X.
But he fits in that role.
I don't know, like,
Except for the accent.
I know. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's also like DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, but they better not do.
I mean, they already went ahead and they CG'd Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman, but like, that's not even from the 90s. That's from way before that.
Mm.
Well, here's an idea to put a twist on this idea.
Okay.
So like, I don't know if you probably know an option, but Scott, you probably don't know. They're rebooting or like remaking Sailor Moon, like a new Sailor Moon series, like a reboot. And like I'm really stoked about that. It looks good. Like they're very heavily inspired. They're doing a similar art style.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what if redone in a refreshed but similar art style to its '90s counterpart today? As
Boom, 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 boom. Actually, the Powerpuff Girls, they just did that recently, and that was actually really good.
I want to say we had our hopes crushed a couple times in the Teen Titans, but I'm not entirely sure if that counts as 90s or too much early 2000s. Don't remember.
I think that's early 2000s.
I think that is early 2000s.
My network's all over the place. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I might be down for more Angry Beaver. I don't know.
Angry
But then
Birds was
again-
kind of the product of its time, I think. It's great, but it was like something that was very much of that time.
Right.
Let's see. I'm just looking at other stuff. Bananas and pajamas.
That's-
I would say I would love.
Hmm.
The what?
Rugrats.
No, I don't.
That was my
I mean,
childhood. That and Blue's
Again, we
Clues.
could go back to the Hey Arnold thing because that show was really good.
We probably close it out since this internet's not working for any of us right now.
Uh, uh, yeah.
Dead internet.
That internet. I've been your host, Alex O'Neill. This has been Irrational Passions podcast. I don't know if you knew that, but that's a lot. But yeah, play your games, guys. Stay rational. And we next. All right. We're in the credits.
Goddamn you, internet.
We can ignore my. Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna do Flamage. Monkey Bus. Damn you TVs. Supersonic 2. That's less funny now that I've written it down and read it. Oh well, forget it. All That Brow. Happy Birthday, Alex. Nintendo was dead. Bayonetta 2 and Persona 5.
Surprised we didn't actually mention Persona 5. Like, add.
God damn it, we didn't. No. Mark, where the fuck were you, Mark? You're supposed to do that.
You've been watching us. I like, but
I'm more for All That Brow or Happy Birthday, Alex.
surprise, and
I'm not feeling any of these,
Hey,
man.
all that brow is really.
But
Well, Skype.
Are you going to be stupid and say Bayonetta 2?
I know. There's only like 3 people here, so I can't opt out. Damn. I don't know. Like, I don't like. I only do Flamage because, don't like Supersonic 2, and I don't like All That Brow.
Why don't you like all?
It's not that good. It's not.
Just a second.
Like, the Funky Bus, I believe, was a better moment.
Funky Buzz.
I try to post a picture of
agree.
Goku Super Saiyan 3.
I'm about to. This is a good one. Just look at where his eyebrows would be normally.
Okay, now I get it.
But all of it. It just looks gross. Like, it looks like it's a tumor coming out of his fucking face.
It It's not even brow. It's just skin fold.
It's just like
Forehead.
flesh.
It's just forehead.
It's like why can't I have some of that so I can use it for it? Jesus, there's more than enough to go around.
All right. This is Rational Passions Podcast, episode 178.
That's all she wrote. You can stop recording now.
All right. Self-recording. Yeah. Some crazy ass lag today.
It was so bad.
I know.
It's like watching the other.
God damn it.
Maybe that's the reason.
You, everybody who watched the video, you guys, the internet connect.